Hello, troopers, and welcome to the 501st Common Chatter. I'm Chloe.
I'm Will. Welcome to another episode. As you can see, I am not alone this week.
I'm
Chloe is back. We finally, Chloe's feeling well enough to join us.
Yes,
It has been a little while.
it
How
has.
are you feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better.
Good.
I'm very sorry I wasn't here last week. I had the lurgy. I was coughing, bloody sneezing, my nose was running, and I was so tired. And yeah, so I couldn't be there last week. But I'm here this week, back, and Will's not there.
So you don't have to listen to me chat for about an hour and 20 and occasionally talk to you in the
In the
in the
chat, I
comments.
know. I mean, I was still there in the chat, but
She was
if I would
there.
have been here, I would have just been like,
Sound like
like
General Grievous.
yes, I would have. And I feel like not only did I not feel well, like it's not a very nice thing to listen to on a podcast. Just someone coughing up their lungs, like you know. So
But we're here,
Yeah.
and we hope you're going to enjoy today's episode with us. We're going to be breaking down episode 5 of Skeleton Crew. There was quite some. I really enjoyed the episode actually. Quite a lot of interesting, moments in it. Um, but I'll tell you, like, obviously we'll get into it towards the end of the episode. But I was really excited, wasn't I, when that, like, not even what you see, what you hear. I was like, I'm so excited about this, and I can't wait to. I don't think we're ever actually going to find out the history of it.
No.
Because I don't think the show is going to go that in depth. But I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Yeah.
Also, we have had Christmas.
Yes, we have.
So we have some gifts that we got to show you.
Mhm.
Chloe did put a picture up on our Instagram earlier today, showing you all our things that we got. But we're going to show you in person, so I can see some things to your right. Should we show the actual things first?
Okay.
Well, then, I know you guys can see it. Let's start with the main one.
So this was one of my presents to Will. It is the 2014 version of the Anakin Interceptor. These are very hard to get hold of, and I paid quite a bit of money for this one. But look how cool it is.
It is very cool, and I know I'm very lucky that me and you were able to build it.
Yes.
But I will say I do know that this was a set that you were yourself wanted. So you were like, it wasn't just a gift for me. It was a gift.
It was for both of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I bought it for Will for Christmas.
Yeah.
But whatever I buy you is mine anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, all of the Funkos. If you buy them for me, then they're yours as well. So
Exactly, that's how it works. We
it's
have
just
one collection. But
yeah,
it's very cool.
The Interceptor. It's very, very cool and very fun to build as well. And you can see little R2 is in there.
Mhm.
You can take him out as well. So he is like a separate minifig, but it's really cool how you can just like slot him in there and then like his little head pops up.
Very cool.
Very nice.
And he does come with an Anakin. So I have an Anakin figure in our collection now.
So this is the Anakin that comes with. I can get it to focus. There you go. So he's got like his little headpiece and he's got the darker hair. Now I found out that there's 3 different versions of this set. So this one is the one that was from 2014, but there was a previous one where it had like the earlier Anakin with the like kind of bob style hair, like the middle part in, and then just like the curtain sort of haircut. And then there was this one, and then there's a newer one as well, which the figure looks pretty much the same, but his hair was like sort of gingery colour. So I preferred this one.
Yeah.
So that's why I went for this set.
The only thing I will
they're
say,
all about the same sort of price.
Yeah, I think the only thing I will say about that minifig is with the Kenobi Starfighter one, he comes with 2 heads, with one head with the headpiece, one without, where this one just has 2 faces, one of him like smiling
I'll show you guys.
and one of him not smiling.
So that's the smiling. And then he comes with like an angry sort
Yeah.
of face.
But he has the
Yeah.
headset on.
Yeah,
So
on both faces.
I would have almost liked the one face without a headset, so you could like just have a normal Anakin.
Yeah.
But it is still very cool.
And I will show you guys the box
Yes,
as
look
well.
at this. This is vintage Star Wars.
Like the writing is so, and like the Vader on the packaging as well. And like I also noticed the box is so much glossier and like thicker cardboard than now they are. So yeah.
Back when you could get plastic straws.
I know, yeah. And like the figures say like new on them. And then I noticed the other day it's got on the side Lego Club, but obviously now it's like Lego Insiders. So that's changed as well. But very cool little box here.
This is a very good
Thought I'd
box.
show you that. Very nostalgic.
Yes. Now we have been talking about possibly getting the Ahsoka Jedi Interceptor, because obviously you get R3. No, is it R7? R3. I can't remember which one. But you get
It's Ahsoka's droid.
Ahsoka
It looks
droid.
like R4. But
It's not R4.
It's not R4, yeah.
You get Ahsoka, Clone Wars Ahsoka, and you also get Anakin.
Mm-hmm. But he's not got the headset.
So
we could have this Anakin in the ship, in the Lego set, and then you could have the other Anakin like next to Rex or something on
Yep.
this.
And I think it would be quite a cool one, because the colours of Ahsoka's is basically Kenobi's.
Yeah.
So
you could almost put Kenobi in the ship as well.
Yeah.
Because we do have like an R4 that came with the Starfighter, so.
Yeah, because we've got the one from Attack of the Clones that Kenobi goes to
With the
Kamino
little
in.
tool.
Tom Weezy. So that's quite cool. But no, so we are thinking of getting that one to go with this one. But that is a very cool one and a very good phone.
And I think they've changed the Anakin again as well. So like obviously I was saying the newer one has like the ginger kind of hair color. So they've changed it so he's got the dark hair color again. So
very cool.
Very cool. The second Lego set that I got Will this Christmas was this one.
Now, if you guys know us or know the podcast, you know I've been wanting this one for a while, because I really want the.
I was like, don't buy it.
You didn't know. The Keller and Beck speeder bike set. So it comes with 2 501st Troopers. Wahey! And there's updated figures as well.
Yes, so they have little holes for the
Rangefinders
yeah.
and that. But the helmets themselves look a little bit different. And obviously it comes with Keller and Beck.
Yeah.
And a little Grogu.
We love Grogu.
And also the really cool thing about his little like pod.
I'll show you the back of the box as well. Actually.
His pod can come out of the speeder bike.
Yeah.
So you can have him in his like little pram thing. It's quite cute.
I'll show you the actual set. So this is the little bark speeder. The little Grogu's in his pram. I'll try and show you Grogu a bit better, because he looks so adorable.
He is very cute. He's a tiny minifig as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, the camera doesn't want to pick up a little Grogu.
I don't want to show him.
Yeah,
there you go. He is so cute. And also I've got the key ring of Grogu, and his head's like kind of rubbery feeling.
Yeah.
And it's the same. So yeah.
But it is a very cool set. We got to show Keller it. We've got to show Keller because I love the detail on his like. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys see it, but you can see like the detail, like on his, like.
Oh yeah, like
on his.
Oh my
God.
He fell. It's like sort of gold.
Yeah, but you can see like
You
the
see it.
Arabesh on the like thing. It's very cool. It's very detailed.
Very nice. Very shiny, very sort of High Republic.
Mm.
And
You know, I
he's got
like
the
that
two
High
sabers.
Republic.
Boo, boo, boo.
I don't know where it's gone.
Very cool.
But we're gonna do a post on it at some point.
And it came with this little like
lamppost, a Lego lamppost.
It's like the sort of thing you just bash up in Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, you
And
see
then
it,
I'll
you
show
hit it.
The clone. So it comes with 2 of these in the set.
And you know we're 501st fans here.
You know it. But yeah, they got like the holes in the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. And you can never have enough 501st minifigs.
We do have quite a few.
We already have a couple, but
but
more now.
yes, also we will do a post on it because it is actually quite funny. But in the book for the Kellerin Beck speeder thing, for some reason they've given Grogu like a full head of hair in the like illustration. It's quite funny because it's like, why have you given him like an emo? Yeah, why have you given him an emo look?
He's got hair. I think it's supposed to be like the wrinkles on his head, but it just looks like he's got hair.
I know, it's so because they've really made it like dark, and it's like why?
Who knows?
But very cool. Another good set.
Yeah.
And one again, like I've been wanting for a while. So
I didn't buy it.
2 very cool sets. You didn't know. I bet you got that like last minute.
No. And then
Will
Will got given this one by his mum.
Yes, it is the Secrets of the Clone Trooper book.
It is so cool. Like the pictures are like
They are all 10.
but it's like Clone Wars characters, but you're actually seeing them as like 10, and they've even got like the Bad Batch. Like look at Omega with 10's face. It's great. It's
It is
so
very
good.
cool, and there is so much details in it here as well. And there's
I'll show you a few
also
pages.
the reveal of Sister.
Oh yeah.
The
I'm trying to find
is it the trans clone?
Yeah.
Which I think is very cool that they've got an inclusive clone within it. Because anyone who says that like clones can't be can't be girls or whatever, you look at Omega and you look at Emery.
Yeah.
So
there's nothing to say that there can't be.
But it is also really cool because the like little artistic like pictures of like the Jedi in it as well. They are also like the actors, so they look like Ewan and they look like Hayden. Just show you some pictures.
Okay. I'm trying to find the sister.
Well, we can show Sister after. Just show you some pictures of the book.
Right. Let's show you the first page because I already got this page. So we've got like Rex as 10.
Very
We've
cool.
got like Hayden. You've got like older sort of Rex.
Wolf and
And
Gregor.
then we got Ariana Greenblatt. Is that her name? That plays Ahsoka.
I think so.
And then you got Rex. And then there's like also little like things you can lift up. And then it's sort of like a pop-up book. Where it's got like all the clones. But like if you notice these 30 seconds, they got like the black strip, which is like the live action sort of helmet. Like the Clone Trooper here.
Yep.
But
no, it is a very cool book and worth a read.
I'll show you a few pages just to let you see what it sort of is like. So you've got like certain scenes like Slick from season 1. But like it's so cool. I love this art style as well. Like you got the Siege of Mandalore as well, like Bo-Katan. Like there's so much information. Like you even got Echo.
It is a
So
very, very detailed book.
And you got all the different like legions and stuff. There's so much information in this book.
But yeah.
So that's just a little taster.
Yeah.
But I feel like we'll probably be picking this up if we do like clone sort of episodes, because then we can maybe find out more information from this book.
Yeah. And I do recommend you guys getting it if you wanted to learn more about the clones.
Yeah.
Because it is a good introduction to them.
And I just
as
love
well.
looking at all the pictures, like
Yeah.
seeing like Omega's 10 and like it's so cool.
Cool. So next up, this is quite funny because there's a bit of a funny story behind this one.
Yeah.
So we both got given one of these mugs each to match, and I also got one for my Secret Santa. So it is the lightsaber heat coloring mug. I'm sure you guys have like seen this like around on things and that. So obviously it's cold. When it's cold, it's just like the lightsaber hilts. But obviously when it heats up, obviously you get the different colors for them. So we now have 3 of these. So that's quite cool.
If we break one, then we got a spare.
Yes, we do have a spare.
Or we can have a guest over and we can all have lightsaber mugs.
Yeah, exactly. We're all inclusive.
Yes.
Um,
And then the last sort of little thing, I got some pajamas, which, you know, we all love pajamas for Christmas, but not only pajamas, Grogu pajamas.
Good vibes.
And it's like Grogu sort of meditating, good vibes. And then on the bottoms, got little Grogu all over them. So very cool. I love new pajamas for Christmas because who doesn't love new pajamas?
True.
But I love Grogu and he's so cute.
Yeah.
So happy to get Grogu pajamas.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Well, you say that.
There's one more.
There's one more.
There's one more.
And I'm very excited about this because I have been waiting for this for a little while now. It's a Funko. Would you believe it? I got my Yord Funko! Yay! I'm so happy. And he is so good. Like, he is really detailed.
Yeah.
Like, the lightsaber, the robes, the hair. Like,
yeah, like the back of his head is like faded. It's so cool.
So I've now got Yord to go with Master Soul. You guys know I'm a bit of a Yord fan. I do quite like him. As much as, you know, a lot of people don't like the way that Charlie in his interviews was saying how Anakin blew up the Death Star, and he said it twice. You know, it's like I liked Yord, and his death was brutal. That was I had a feeling that like we were gonna see something like that, but it was just like
yeah, that episode killed me.
Episode 5 of the Acolyte is so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's a Funko that I've been wanting for a while because I've been waiting for it to come in where I work. Hasn't come in. I've been waiting for it to come in where you work. Hasn't come in. Been looking in Smith's. Been looking in like Asda. Nothing. So yeah.
So you ended up getting it for Christmas because we were waiting so long for it to come in all these shops. And
the only time we saw it was in the Forbidden Planet in London. That was it. But I will also say we are currently on the lookout for a Neil Funko. So if you know where there's a Neil Funko, let us know. Like what retailer, because we'll go there. We'll try and get a Neil.
Do you know what? I almost got you a Neil Funko. Because they were on Amazon. And last minute, I was like, no, it's fine. Because I was like, if he gets Neil, he's going to want Jod and Fern and Wim and everyone.
No, I just
But
want Nate.
now on Amazon they've whacked up the price to like $17.99 or something. Last time I saw, and I'm like, I should have bought it back when it was like Black Friday offers. Should have bought it. I didn't. I hesitated, and now look at this. I'm going to end up paying 20 quid for that Funko.
It's nil. It's worth it.
I know. He's so cute.
And there is a
but
cute.
At the time, like we hadn't really seen much.
I know.
Obviously, we've seen like the trailers, and I was like, I don't know if he's going to be like a cool character. Like he looks cute, but I didn't know much about him. And then obviously we've watched 5 episodes now, and we're obsessed with him.
He does have a really little cute, funny moment in this episode as well, which I loved. I was literally laughing when it happened. So cute. But that was like it. What we got? We got some very nice things. We also got some other nice things as well, like Star Wars.
That's the thing. Like this doesn't look like a lot of things, but we also got other necessities as well. Shower gel, socks, like
hoodie,
perfume,
hoodie, t-shirts.
Yeah.
Perfume.
We got other things that weren't Star Wars.
But yeah, don't need to worry about those.
We're a Star Wars podcast, so we don't want to show you all of our other things. It's just Star Wars stuff.
So, with that done, we're gonna go into new releases and updates and all that.
Yeah.
So we have here the start. Obviously, that Star Wars and Fortnite have done a collab before. They now have done samurai Star Wars skins. So you've got a Vader and a Stormtrooper in like traditional samurai looking armor. And I think it's quite cool. Well, I think the Vader's quite cool. I think Stormtrooper looks like he's got a bit of a baseball cap on. Seems a bit weird, but
I think it is a bit odd because it's like you haven't seen samurai Star Wars in anything, but
apart from
they do look really
Visions.
cool. Oh yeah, true.
But also his samurai lightsaber is also quite cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. I think it lights up as well, so it's part of the thing. Moving on, we also have some so this is from Topps trading cards. So we've got some character names and revealed better looks at characters. So this is Noel. This is Neil's dad, which I think is quite cool that we finally get a look at him.
Noel and Neil.
And we also get a better look as well at Neil's brothers. So we got Jorka and I can't remember what was the name of this other one, but yeah. So
they're so cute.
Yeah, very cute.
It's like Grogu all over again. And little baby Baron.
My little baby Baron, I love him.
Any little baby.
If you were to say to me baby Ben or baby Jorka, I still gotta go baby Ben. I'm sorry, it's gotta be. I've just realised as well before we start, we haven't done our Mount Rushmore. So let's do that. We haven't got the pictures, but we're going to quickly talk about them.
Yes.
So this week we did Bounty Hunters. So we're going to go through it quick. We're not going to go through it we're not going to spend a lot of time on it because we still got a lot of the episode to talk about.
Yeah.
But obviously the deal. Mount Rushmore, the 4 best in the business.
Yeah.
So for our picks for Bounty Hunters, number 1 we went Cad Bane. If Cad Bane is not on your Bounty Hunter Mount Rushmore, there's something wrong with you, isn't it? He is
the Clint Eastwood of Star Wars.
He is. When you look at what he survived and went through, this guy is the best.
For sure.
We've also got to put Boba on there.
He had to be. We love Boba, and probably the most iconic bounty hunter in Star Wars, the most well known.
Yeah, it has to be. He has to be on there. Do you want to do the last 2 picks?
So we had Bosk.
Bosk being the person who basically trained Boba, you know.
Yep.
And I think his look as well was also very, very iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, and like being that he was one of the originals as well, like Empire Strikes Back, where you see Boba Fett, IG-88, Bosk, Zuckuss, like he's iconic. So how can
The
we
icons
miss,
of the game.
how can we miss Bosk?
And the last one?
Who did we pick? Because it was a cross between two, wasn't it? Jango Fett. Jango Fett, the other Fett. Originally, I was going to put Mando, but Will made a very good point of like, we don't really see him like complete many bounties. Like, even though he is a bounty hunter.
Yeah, like we know he's a good bounty hunter, and obviously he has the most iconic bounty hunter line in I can bring you in warm, I can bring you in cold.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about bounty hunters, you know, he basically had a bounty to retrieve a kid, obviously being Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
He handed in the bounty, but then he had a conscience and was like, no. So he then went back against the bounty hunters, and he then had a bounty put on himself, you know, and was kicked out of the Bounty Hunters Guild, you know. And I know he did eventually go back to being a bounty hunter, but it wasn't for long, and we haven't seen enough of him. So that was my argument for why he should be an honourable mention.
Because I think he's almost too good to be on this list. Like, he's not like a bad bounty hunter who's like ruthless sort of thing. He's like a good side bounty hunter.
Exactly. Like if you look at him compared to Cad Bane, there's an arc in the Clone Wars where Cad Bane literally poses as a Jedi and nicks Force-sensitive children from their families for Palpatine, and he's doing it all for credits. Like, but that's why he is, you know, an iconic.
I mean, if we had like a thing of Mandalorians, then Mando would definitely be on there.
Yeah.
Or like good sort of bounty hunters, Mando would definitely be on there. But yeah, I think he's an honourable mention for this list just because. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's others that were honourable mentions like Dengar or Singh. You know, you also got
Is
Embo.
Dengar that one? Oh, Embo, that's the one.
With the hat.
With the hat and the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got Embo. I mean, there's a couple of bounty hunters that we see in like, you know, in the comics, and we also see, you know, like you mentioned Zuckuss, Forlom, IG-88. You know, there is a lot, but
yeah, we had to pick Jango Fett just because, you know, again, he's really iconic, and you know, there was a reason why Count Dooku chose him as the Clone Templar, because he saw how much potential he had in his fighting.
But you also see as well, you know, this is the guy that, I know it's a bit of a trend, but he like sort of taught Cad Bane. So he taught Cad Bane, you know,
and Boba Fett.
Yeah, and obviously Bosk also is another reason why Bosk is on there, because he also taught, you know, Cad Bane, not Cad Bane, but like Boba.
Yeah.
So.
And he worked with Aurra Sing as well, but she's another honourable mention because she is really sort of badass.
But we don't see like enough of her as a success, do we?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you only really see her in a few episodes of Clone Wars.
And I love how she was just like an extra in the Phantom Menace, and then she got this whole character name and creation.
And also another reason, Jango Fett, because the game, The Bounty Hunter, was Jango Fett's story. So, you know,
that's a reason. That's a good enough reason.
So we hope you agree with our list. If not, then
that's
tell us what you would pick.
That's fine. Like I said, we want to hear other people's lists. You don't have to have the same as us.
Mm.
That is absolutely fine. So, yeah. Um, shall we go back onto the thing? Because we are going to be running out of time. So, as mentioned, this is Jorker and his brother, Neil's brothers. We have Marie and Gary. Gary?
Marie and Gary.
Marie and Gary. This
I
is
guess.
KB's mums.
Mhm.
Um,
Marie, Gary, and
they
KB.
look like a nice couple.
Nice
Like-
family.
And obviously they care about KB.
Yeah.
We do have some hot toys I'm
Mhm.
very excited about. We've got a Clone Commander Wolf hot toy.
Yeah.
He looks so good.
It does.
Now, yes, he looks like Luke Evans. He really does. But the scar on like the face and like the hair,
Mm.
so detailed. Like I love it. You can again all these hot toys. They have like multiple accessories, so
Mhm.
you can have him looking like Phase 1 Commander Wolf
Mhm.
if you wanted, like with the helmet and the blasters and the jetpack, or you can go for what I think is the best look and how if you've got a Commander Wolf hot toy, this is how you should be presenting him.
The Phase 2.
With the Phase 2 special helmet and the markings,
Mhm.
like that is the best look.
And I love how different Commander Wolf's helmet is to all the other clones.
It's
as well.
very like Commander Neo, isn't it?
Mm.
But one day, people, this will be a
Black Series helmet.
and my dream will come true,
You had a
and I will be
dream
there.
that we were doing an episode on this Black Series Commander Wolf helmet.
Hmm.
But it hasn't been announced. It was just a dream. But he's like, if this comes true,
I'm telling you, it was
I
so.
called it first.
It was so real.
Yeah.
It was so real. I held it in my hand and I put it on my head. I know what it is, and we will be getting it.
Yeah.
But he does look so cool. This hot toy, like, just so detailed as well.
Mhm.
So we also have a 104th trooper to go with him.
Mhm.
So he has obviously like the Wolfpack markings and colouring on him. Again, the multiple customizations of Phase 2, Phase 1. You can even give him a little backpack.
It's
You can
very
give him like a minigun. You can give him like a rocket launcher.
Mhm.
You can give him like different blasters.
Mm.
Like, and look at the helmet as well. You can have like different
Mm.
104 Wolfpack helmets,
That's very cool.
which is so cool. And you can also have the jetpack
Mhm.
on. The jetpack also is available on the Commander Wolf as well.
Okay,
So you can give it the like looks like he's flying, but
that's cool.
I think like something like that pose is the best. I think
Mhm.
looks so cool, and for me that would be the
I think-
pose for Commander Wolf.
I think the one with like the wolf is the deluxe version, and the other
Oh,
one
good
just.
spot. Well, that's the deluxe.
So I
one.
think there's two different. Oh, is it all
that's
the
the
deluxe?
that's deluxe. So yeah, no, I think
Oh, okay. So maybe it does come with the two different helmets then.
very cool.
Wow, two different Phase 2 helmets, and then it comes into Phase 1 as well.
That's cool. Different marking.
Yeah.
So we get into today's episode.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking obviously about Skeleton Crew. So we start the episode off back on our Saturn.
With Wim's dad.
Yes, we see Wim's dad at his office, and he notices Neil's mum
Yes.
coming through the elevator, and sort of is waiting over by the window. So Wim's dad goes over, and she's like, "We need you to. We found a, or we need to get through the barrier to send the kids a message, without revealing Aaron's location. Use this device." And Wim's dad's like, "I can't do this. Can't break into the system." And they're like, "Do you want to find the kids?"
Mhm.
So he's like, "Oh, okay." So then we get this quite intense moment where Wim's dad plugs the like little handmade like USB
Mhm.
system into the computer, and like you see the little like pirate software almost. I think it's quite funny, and it's like the parents are being pirates
Yeah,
by using a pirated system,
very true.
which is very cool.
And there's this really like eerie, creepy music, it's like straight out of a horror film. And it's like sort of violins, but it's very like
Tense.
high pitch and like.
But it's
like-
very tense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because one of the security droids is like looking out, like turns and looks at Wim's dad, and he's like,
You're just like, oh, get it done quick.
and then now I haven't been able to confirm this. Now I might just be going by what I think it sounds like.
No, I think you're onto something.
You reckon I'm onto something?
And I think we should maybe check the credits of the episode.
Okay. Well, I said it to you, and you're like, I think you're right.
Mhm.
I haven't actually seen anyone mention this though.
Mhm.
But this security droid that comes over and asks Wim's dad, saying, "We've detected an energy surge from this location," sounds like D. Bradley Baker's Crosshair.
Mhm.
So I think,
But like a more robotic version.
yeah,
Mm.
but I think this is D. Bradley Baker doing the voice of the droid, but he's sort of put his Crosshair
Mm.
sort of voice into it a bit, because like he's like, "Sir, what is behind in your hand?"
Mm.
And he's like, "Nothing." He's like, "Sir, your other hand."
Mm.
It's like, "Nothing." It's like, "Sir."
I
Show
can
me
see
both
both
hands. And then we see obviously Wim's dad's got nowhere to hide it,
Mm.
so we see the droid handing it to Fern's mum,
Mhm.
who's clearly like running this section, operation, whatever.
Yeah.
And she takes it and she's like, delete all knowledge of this event and power off. So clearly she's like, you don't want to be, the droids don't want to be knowing about this. Like,
No.
can't have that. So she then sort of blinds, like pulls almost like the blinds down on the window,
Mhm.
which I think was quite cool. And she's like, "What are you doing? I told you I was handling it." And he's like, "We can't wait.
No.
We need to find out what's going on with the kids. We need to send them a message."
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite cool.
Mhm.
But again, tell us what you think. But I think it's D. Bradley Baker doing the security droid's voice. But that
I
little
think
crosshair.
Before next episode, we'll check it on the credits and see if it says.
Yeah, because if it's D. Bradley Baker,
But if he's not credited, then I'll be disappointed. It definitely sounds like it.
it does, especially like his like I said, his
Mm.
crosshair voice is very unique.
Yeah.
And if you've heard it in person, like I have myself, very luckily, it's one that you don't forget.
No.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we move on to the ship, and the kids have strapped SM-33 down
Mhm.
to the sort of stop him from attacking them.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Right, well, let's power him on and ask." And they're
Where
like,
is that then?
and Neil's like, so they turn him on. He's like, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
And Neil immediately is like, "Make him promise he's not going to attack her." And he's like, "Don't worry, I mean you no harm," sort of thing. And then he's like, because they basically did like a memory reset on him, didn't they? So that was quite cool. And then he reveals the story about his former captain being Captain Remod or something.
Mhm.
Captain Remod or something. I
Yeah.
can't remember what it was exactly, but yeah, he's like, because Jod knows him. He's
Mhm.
like, wait, this is the Onyx Cinder.
Mm.
So it's quite cool because again, it's very pirate like in the sense of like, you know how like in Pirates of the Caribbean you've got everyone knows the mysterious Black Pearl, and
Mhm.
you know everyone knows like of Blackbeard in real life, you know, it's like
Yeah.
that mystery element, and then it's like, oh my god, this is that ship.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really think it's a really cool scene, and again, it's such a pirate nod, and he talks about like all the different sort of stories on the ship, and then he says about take us back to Atatin, and he's like, well, the location to Atatin is in the like captain's what was it? His like safe, his like underground lair thing,
Yeah.
underneath
So
Mount
he's like, I'm
something.
gonna have to take you there.
And then they have a bit of a like. So while they're then flying there, he starts telling some stories about, what happened to the Onyx Cinder and how the captain basically he knew that the crew was going to like mutiny against him, and so he had the last laugh and like commanded like the Onyx Cinder to crash into Aten, and basically that's how they all died. And yeah, but Wim like has enough. He's like, I don't like this no more.
Yeah.
And he goes off, and Jod notices, and we get this quite interesting moment where he goes to check on Wim, and he's like sniffling and like reading his tablet. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, nothing. It's like his tablet, and he's like wiping his face. And
Bless him.
and then he's like, I miss my dad and I want to go home. And then John sort of gives a bit of a like a Jedi speech, and he's like, oh, forget about him, sort of thing. It's easier.
Very quiet.
And then it's like, you'll see them soon or whatever. And he's like, not my mum. So obviously, we know Wim's mum's not around anymore. So Jod comes and is like, God damn. Decides to come and sits down with him. And he's like, he tells him like, you can imagine the most amazing stories in this crappy galaxy, but he also says about like like letting go of attachments. And we see him use the Force and give Wim his tablet.
Yeah.
So for me, he's definitely a Force user. 100%, 100%. This isn't smoke and mirrors anymore.
No.
That people think. No. And I think it's a really nice bit, and it's like a nice little moment. But then, by the end of the episode, Jod isn't what we think. So I really liked this like shot. So they go to this planet, and it's a bit like icy mountain range, but it's very like peaceful, tranquil.
Yeah.
And SM-33 is like, this is the place. And then he's like, La Nubla.
Yeah.
He's like, you brought us to La Nubla. And he's like, it has many names.
Yeah.
The Skulls Canyon, the Devil's Reach, La Nubla. And now I want to go to La Nubla.
Yeah.
I want to go to the spa.
So too.
They basically built a spa resort over the sort of like entrance to the caverns and all that.
And SM-33's like, they ruined it.
I love that. He's like, they ruined it. And these two like escort ships, and they make like a little like chiming like ding ding. It's like, welcome to La Nubla.
Yeah.
As long as you're neutral, like this is a peaceful neutral planet. As long as you come in peace or something, like you won't be disintegrated or something like that. And then he hears the kids talking. He's like, is that children? And Jod's like,
Cut it off.
and he's like, the spa is not acclimated to like children. They won't be allowed in the facility. He's like, well, you had the guy. You're going to have to wait on the ship.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, I'm not doing that. And SM-33 being SM-33 is like, I go where my captain goes. It's like, fine. So we also get to see as well these pleasure yachts, which remind me of Dryden Voss's
That's true.
pleasure yacht that we see in Solo. But obviously SM33 also is like, mutinous Emily's enemies, like, coming for us. And he's like, no, that's like pleasure yachts. So then obviously here we see them landing in the like spa facility. Looks very nice. Maybe this is a new part of Disney Galaxy's Edge that we're going to get to at some point. We're going to get the
Disney spa.
The Lenubla spa. That'd be very cool.
That would be cool.
So it lands, and then we also get to see the, like, I wouldn't say the manager, but like someone who works there.
Yeah.
And she's like watching the ship land, and then it like a bit of it like falls off and like lands on another ship. She's like, contact waste management.
Yeah.
You might have a problem. And she walks over, and obviously Jod is there, and he's like, allow me to introduce
the
elders from Brat. What was he called it? Brativar or something.
Yeah, Brativar.
Like, obviously calling the kids brats. I don't think it is, but it could also be a nod to Charlie here. I doubt it, but funny. And they don't appear, and then they come down dressed up, looking like these weird costumed characters.
Yeah.
I will say though, Wim looks very much like sort of with the hat and the beard, like mask. Looks a bit like Davy Jones.
Yeah.
From Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Neil looks a bit like a Jawa.
It's just what I say. He looks like a Jawa. And then obviously the other, Fern and KB are also just well covered.
Yeah.
But he's like, they don't speak basic, so he has to translate. And he's like,
yeah,
which I think is quite cool. So they all get gifted with this like ceremonial like flower. It's very much like Hawaii, isn't it?
Yeah.
You said that during the you were like, it's literally like Star Wars Hawaii.
Yeah. I
was like, that's quite a good intro. Maybe this is what you'll get in Hawaii. They'll do it at Lenubla area.
Yeah.
Like. And we see the guy take away Jod's knife. He's like, no weapons allowed. And he puts it down on like a table. And then he sort of goes over to SM33. And while he's doing that, Jod uses the force and brings the knife back. He definitely has the force.
Yeah.
And we see him put a restraining bolt on SM33. And he's like, this is to stop droids from doing
violent.
We've had droids with vicious intents and that.
Yeah, that's it.
And then he's like, and then it activates from stopping him from strangling.
Yeah.
And,
don't stop me doing this.
And this is when he also says, he's like, you've ruined it.
Yeah.
So they go on they're following this woman into the facility, and she's like, we have the mud baths, and he's like, what about the fighting pits?
Yeah.
And he's like, the acid pools or something, like,
yeah,
all these like pirate torturous things have become like luxury areas. The all-you-can-eat buffet as well, which is very cool. And they go to the desk, and Jod also says as well, like, why is there so much security? And this was, I thought, was quite cool, because he was like, they were like, the banking clan have a retreat going on, so that's why. And obviously the banking clan are the moon species from Scipio. Darth Plagueis.
Same as Darth Plagueis species.
He's a moon.
You may know them from Attack of the Clones, where he's like, the banking clan will sign your treaty.
Like the most
and
iconic.
The people that Clovis works with in Clone Wars as well.
You had to mention them, didn't you? On a Christmas episode as well. How could you?
Well, I started.
Unbelievable. But yes, you would recognise them and know them.
They got really long faces.
Yes, and there is something that I didn't think I would ever see in Star Wars in this episode. It's quite funny. So she's then like, "What's the reservation under?"
Mm.
And he like gives like a credit. He's like, "Whatever, you know." Gives like another one. She's like, Dr. Aureus thingy,
Hmm.
and he's like,
She just finds the name on the system and then
he's
just
like,
like
yeah,
pockets the Republic credits.
that will do.
Yeah.
And then we get introduced to, is it Pocket?
Mhm.
Now, I think her name is Kelly MacDonald, and she's actually a famous voice actor. She has been in other stuff like Train Spotting as well.
She's a Scotch.
Yeah, and she was also in Harry Potter, I believe, as well. She was
Oh.
Rowena Ravenclaw, I think.
Mhm.
But she looks very different here.
Mhm.
But she's also the voice of Merida in Brave, the Disney thing. You wouldn't think that was the same person, but obviously she's got a very Scottish accent.
Mhm.
Now, someone in one of the breakdown videos we saw said that she is the same species as like I think it's Aura Jeleni
Mhm.
in the High Republic. I think she's an Umbaran.
Mhm.
Oh, you know I don't like those Umbarans.
No.
But you know the like because she looks like Palpatine's like aide assistant that we see in the prequels that hangs around with him. And she's an Umbaran.
Very much could
And
be.
I think it's the same.
But it could be someone from the same species of the one in the High Republic as well.
It could be because they look very similar, but
also, when I was watching it, I was like, is she the same species as Ventress?
I was like, she's not. She's not a Night
Ventress
sister.
does have the white eyes.
I know, but she's
and
not a
the white
Night
skin.
sister.
Yeah.
But I think also
I feel
Asajj
like-
has like normal eyes though. I'm sure she does. Yeah, she does. She has normal eyes.
I thought she had white eyes.
Yeah, it's not like little pinpoints like that.
I mean, clearly there's too many species that look similar and so.
But she calls him.
Maybe they'll confirm what species she is.
She calls him like Dashan Ren or something like that. I can't remember.
So it's like
and-
there's another code name.
And Neil's like, "You got another name?"
Yeah.
I love Neil. He's so cute.
Mhm.
And then she's like, basically saying about how he left her for dead or whatever, and she doesn't work for the guild anymore,
Mhm.
but she bounty hunts for like a private contractor sort of thing.
Yeah.
And basically tells the kids to like watch themselves around him.
Yeah.
And
He's not sort of
she calls him a
trustworthy.
Slimo,
Yeah.
like Anakin does to Sabawa. He's like,
Phantom.
"You Slimo."
Yeah.
Which is a cool little throwback to that, I think. And she walks off, and then the woman at the desk, like, sorry, what was the name?
Yeah.
And he's like, gives her like loads of credits, like, right,
Yeah.
you didn't see this. I want the best room, best suite, like, no luggage, just do it quick.
Yeah.
So they go to this like really fancy like hotel room, and the kids are like, wow, this is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And John's like, right, we're going to have to be quick here.
Yeah.
So SM33 mentions how you'd find the entrance to the sanctum almost with the captain's logo, and he like carves it onto the table.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we'll see it in a later picture.
Yeah.
So Jod's then like, right, we're going to have to split up. And all the kids are just bouncing on the bed because they're kids.
Yeah.
What else are they going to do? You know, they're playing. And he's like, we've got to go. We've got to split up.
Yeah.
He's like, right, Fern, Neil, and me. And Neil's like, I want to go with Wim.
Yeah.
And Wim's like, I want to go with Neil. And he's like, oh, God's sake. So he's like, there is probably Pocket has already probably called in the bounty on us. and the pirates are going to be coming.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go. So they then split up. And so Fern and Wim go with SM33 go down to the like spa, whereas Jod, Neil, and KB go to the through to the. I can't remember where they're looking, but they're looking like pipes and that, aren't they? They're following it. And I love this bit. So obviously they've got the robes on, the spa robes. SM33's got some towels to make it look like, he's working for them.
Yeah.
And then I love this scene, this picture. Oh, okay. So sorry, next bit. So we get a shot of this spa attendant bringing over this bowl of snacks. I was like, oh my god, it's a hut.
Yep.
I was like, it looks quite good actually for a hut. I wonder. I don't think we're ever going to find out who it is, but there is a hut at a spa, and that tells you if a hut can go to a spa, so can you.
Yes.
Don't ever think you can't go to a spa, because here's a picture of me at
No. No.
So
it does look really good though. It looks very similar to Java.
Yeah, and I mean the mud on him is very real as well. So he brings over the food. And he's like, oh, has a little look, and then he picks up the attendant. And the attendant's like, no, not again, no, not again. And he eats it. He's like, oh, bloody hell.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
This is a bit.
So we also get a scene of other species in the mud baths and that. And we see these moons chilling, hanging out.
Species, yeah.
Darth Plagueis as well, chilling in the mud baths. And we got one here having a chat with these guys, guards. And we got one here and some over there. He's got a head towel.
Yeah.
But they're all bald.
Yeah.
But I never thought I would see a moon with a head towel.
Oh god. We also have one here, which is that species with the voice changer.
Yeah.
And he's got a towel as well. What is that?
Oh.
I love this scene.
Yeah, but let's get a little close up on this moon. Look at this guy. This guy is the coolest guy in Star Wars right now.
Should we try to zoom in a bit more? There you go.
This maybe we should change.
This
is the thumbnail.
Yes.
It's the moon with
the towel on his head.
I think that's brilliant. It's they don't have a hair.
Yeah.
They don't need it. But it's just it's a funny little detail that they've added in. I think it's a funny one as well. So we see that, and obviously we see SM33 mention the what do you call it? This used to be the acid baths, where they dissolve the bodies and all that. We also see that.
Little Neil. His face. He's so cute.
And yeah, we get SM33 say to. We get SM33 mention that sorry, not SM33. Wim mentioned on the little radio to Neil that they're going down to the caverns or whatever.
Yeah.
And Neil's like, okay, Jedi 1, we're looking at some ruins on the wall, following the pipes.
Jedi 1, Jedi 2.
And through the breakdown videos, we've also learned that this writing and sort of Arabesh is old, it's also used in the Sith tongue sort of language, and it's also used on Peridia apparently. I can't remember what it says, but we get that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So then we get this guard come over, and he's like, "Are you thingy Professor Orion whatever, Orion Shaft or whatever?" And he's like, yes. And he's like, from Scipio.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously he's meant to look like a moon.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, run.
Mm-hmm.
So then they run, and the guards start chasing them, and we get this bit where the guy's like, step away from the elders.
Mm-hmm.
And KB then pulls out like a wrench, and he's like, "What are you gonna do with that?" And they all sort of start
Is it
laughing.
Fern that like takes her hood off and she's like, "We're not elders, we're kids." And then he's like, "Well, you're under arrest too."
No, it's KB because
Oh,
obviously
it's
they
KB.
haven't connected. So they're doing that, and like she hits the pipe, and like all the steam goes up, and they fall into the mud bath.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Wim. Also, we do see as well Pocket call Wolfman. Can't remember his name. Can't remember his name. Captain begins with B.
Brutus.
Yes. We
Brutus.
see him, and she's like hollow calling him. It's like whatever his name is, because he's like Captain Silvo. Don't let him go. He's like, well,
Mhm.
Captain Silvo, whatever his name is, you know. We also get this really cool scene where like we get this ship being flanked by two of the like La Nubla like ships being like, welcome to La Nubla.
Yeah.
And then like they just get blown up.
Yeah.
And the other pirate ship comes in. And I think it was like a really cool like looking way they did it. So meanwhile, Wim and Fern come across this big like what's his name? Like a Clothorian or something like that.
I can't remember.
Anyway, so they come across him, and he's got like these massive tentacles, and he originally thinks they're like tower assistants, and they find the code on this like door, like hatch, and he's like, "You're not tower assistants or whatever." So then SM-33 goes up and goes and gets Jod and the others.
I think
Because
Wim as well. He's like,
no,
Jedi too.
No, need help.
Yeah.
And so then they eventually come down, and then we find Wim and Fern just chatting away to him. He just wanted to be entertained, like he just wanted conversation.
Yeah.
And he's like, so this is that Jod you're telling me about. He's like, and he's like, smells. This is one of my favorite bits in the episode as well. He like, yes, I wouldn't trust him too. And then Neil, who's like stood next to John, like looks at him and he's like sniffs him with his trunk, and he's like,
yeah.
And he can't like work out. He's like, he doesn't smell like anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he like smashes down with one of his like tentacles on the like hatch, and they go on down. And SM-33 tells them like, be careful. This place is like booby trapped and all that. Very Goonies, like One-Eyed Willie, like
For sure. Yeah.
And they have a bit where like they almost get like chopped up, where they're like this laser like almost chops their head off. And again, we can also see as well that Fern really doesn't trust Jod, because she says to him like, he's like, I'll go at the back, and she's like, what? Leave us and run off. He's like, all right, I'll go in the middle then. Like she doesn't trust him at all.
No.
So they go off, and then we also see like the guards come across this like trap. I thought this was brutal. So they come across this guy comes across like a booby trap, where like it's like a magnetic sort of thing, and it like takes you up into some spikes, and he like kicks a rock, and it like goes up. He's like, guys, and then all of a sudden like he turns around, and he's like,
yeah.
So he gets shot, and you see the like thing, and he's like, and he like falls into the magnetic thing, like the gravity pull sort of thing, and it takes him up, and you don't see it, but you hear the like of him getting impaled. And obviously we see that like he's been shot by the pirates, and obviously Pocket's with him.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was brutal. To be fair, like
Yeah.
just the whole like hearing the noises
Hmm.
was very.
And that's that bloke that looks a bit like Cornelius.
He does a bit.
Mm.
I don't like him either.
No.
So then the group come across. So this pirate now calls out. He's like, Silvo, sort of thing. So Silvo
And they're
and
like-
Jod and the kids now know the
Yeah.
pirates are down there with them.
Yeah.
So they come across this chamber where there's like this water,
Mhm.
and it doesn't look like water. And they're like, wait a minute. So Fern gets SM to test it with like the tip of his like
Yeah.
foot,
Mm.
and you can see this like corrosive acid.
Mhm.
So they're like,
And he's like,
oh dear.
this is acid.
So Jod is like, look for a lever.
Yeah.
Look for something to,
Mm.
you know.
And they're all trying
Enter.
to like work it out. They're throwing rocks in, and they're like, this
Yeah,
isn't working.
Wim chucks like a rock in it as well, and it's like,
Yeah.
and then KB like looks up, and you see the like pirate logo. So this is it here, the like sort of zigzag 7 almost with a little line,
Mhm.
and the inscription basically reads like, to enter you must do the greatest sacrifice or something like that. And immediately the kids are like, great sacrifice, that means like sacrificing our lives.
Mm.
And then this really cute bit where Neil's like, sacrifice, that means what does it mean?
Yeah.
like he had the idea, and then it was like, oh wait, no, that's not what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then Jod is like, oh, you still have so much to learn about pirates.
Mhm.
And then the kids like finally work out, they're like, it's not lives, because this Captain Nemrod or whatever,
Mhm.
he won't hesitate to take a life, like it means nothing. So they're like, have you got any Republic like credits left? And he's like,
Mhm.
they don't have any, but Jod has one left.
Mhm.
And he like uses the Force to hold it, and he's like throws it in.
Mhm.
And for a minute, like nothing happens. And then like, oh. And then like the water starts bubbling, and it like empties out, like drains away, and we see like some skeletons and all that like float away down.
Yeah.
I was like,
So
that's
clearly other people have tried to like go in the water and not survived.
very brutal.
Yeah.
In fact, you've seen like skeletons and all that. And like the hatchway comes down, and they go down, and we get like a little scene where Jod's like to Wim, where he's like, this is an adventure.
Yeah.
And then the pirates have obviously caught up, and they start like blasting them. So they run into the cavern and shut the doors behind them.
Mhm.
And it is literally like the Indiana Jones, like
Or the Mummy.
Or the Mummy, yeah, with the like room of gold and statues and everything. You got this golden like head throne at the end of it. Very cool. But Jod lit like obviously stops. I think it's like Fern or something from touching something, and he's like, "Don't touch anything. It's all like booby trapped, basically." So it's like, but we got to look for like a data log pad thing.
Mhm.
Look for something that doesn't fit here.
Yeah.
So
And then little Neil finds like.
Well, we see them. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay,
we see like, but we see like them all sort of looking around, and then we got probably the bit that made me go, "Whoa!" The best in this episode. My God, we of all the people to find it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wim comes across this gold and silver, like no other colours, gold and silver lightsaber, and I was like, that is a beautiful lightsaber. And do you know what it also reminded me of? I don't know if you remember this, but when I was doing my Jedi Survivor run through, that is basically my lightsaber. Because if you remember, I was like,
You
I'm
made
doing
it
a
look
I'm doing a Cal
yeah.
Kestis
High
High Republic, and I literally had gold
and silver.
and silver lightsaber. I was like, that's cool.
Mm.
So Wim sees this and it's like, and then Neil, being the little legend that he is, he's like, I think I found something.
Yep.
So he comes across some food and it's like rotten apples, but then there's like a steak, and it's
I think it's like a joint of beef. It looks like, which Willie loves beef.
I love my joint of beef. If that was me, I'd have been like, right, give me that.
Give me that beef.
And he's like, but it's unfazed. It looks like it's come straight out of the cooker.
Yeah.
Right.
So then he sort of like reaches up, but then the stool sort of moves. So
It activates like a sort of almost
like
like
a trap door.
yeah.
Mm.
And he's like, and Jod sort of saves him. He's like, let me do it.
Yeah.
So he like reaches for the thing and like lifts it.
Mm.
And then this like little table comes up in this projection with the captain's logo. And they're like, this is it. Now, this is very interesting. I didn't think of this originally when I saw it, but it almost looks a bit like lightning strikes, but like two of them. What is possibly the greatest pirate group in all of Star Wars? The Nihil from the High Republic. And what is their logo?
2 lines.
No, 3.
3 lines.
Almost done.
Sorry.
It's literally 3 lightning bolts.
Yeah.
That's the Nihil logo. But we do know the Nihil were all wiped out, sort of thing. But some of them may have survived and formed their own sort of pirate groups with artistry and remnants of what the Nihil used to be. You know, so this Captain Nimrod or whatever his name is, Renard, whatever, is like, this could be, because clearly he seems to be a very good pirate.
Yeah.
So he could have been a member of the Nihil. You never know. But I think that logo is a representation of the Nihil and the High Republic. So I reckon he was around in the High Republic era. Like, gotta be, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jod basically gets SM33 to download the log, and it comes up with that and coordinates. And
he's like, that's it then?
Yeah. And the kids are like, yeah, going home. And he's like, let's see the old devil or whatever.
Yeah.
So then SM33 activates like a hollow video log, but like, because it's an old log video, you can't see his face, and it's very like cuts in and out of like, but you can see from the way that he sounds and the way that he looks and dressed, it's given classic pirate look, you know, hat, beard, like, you know.
And then is it Neil that's like, why is it not clear? Like, why can't we see him?
Yeah. And then we learn in the sort of data log, video log, that he has learned that Assassin is a mint for the Old Republic. And Jod is like, that's enough. Like, he doesn't need to, like, he knows now. So basically, he has learned that Atatin is where they make money for the Old Republic. Like, it's a planet that makes credits. So obviously, you know how like Scipio is the home of the banking clan, and they have all the credits and all that there. Obviously, Atatin is where they used to make it for the Old Republic, which is crazy. Crazy.
And they still make Old Republic credits, which are worth so much all over the galaxy.
Because they like, this planet shouldn't exist. It's a myth. It's a legend. You know.
Yeah.
So that's quite cool. And then, speaking of, got my Republic credits here. Real gold. And then Jod's looking like he now's like knows something, and then obviously Neil's like, I mean, it's where they make money or something. He's like, yeah, but if you could make money, you could have infinite money. So it is the greatest treasure. I
Yeah.
was like, bless little Neil.
Oh. bless him.
And then for some reason, I don't know why, but Fern's like looking at Jod from like behind, and she's like, Jod, don't forget our deal. You promised you'd get reward. You're rewarded fairly when you take us home. I don't know why she decided to say that though. Like, why all of a sudden have you changed to be like, you will get your reward?
I think she just don't want him like turning his back on them, being like,
Well,
you know what, I'm gonna go to At myself instead of you guys going there. You know,
but
they don't want to get left
true.
on this planet.
True, but we also see that obviously that he has turned almost, and he turns around and he's like, I challenge the right for Captain because of for the code. And SM33 is like, the challenge is thrown. Hand-to-hand combat to the death. And he's looking at Fern and he's like,
I'm sorry, Captain. It's the pirate code.
yes. I will admit again, I know I think I said it last episode, but SM33 played by Nick Frost. He's doing such a great job.
Yeah.
And he's going to have so many iconic lines.
For sure.
But the kids are like, no, what are you doing? And Jod's like, just yield. Don't make me do this. Don't make me hurt you. Just say you yield.
Yeah.
And
she's
Fern's
like, no, I'm not doing it.
Fern's like, no. So she like turns and grabs like a stick, and she goes to hit him. And he's like takes it, throws it away, and then he like grabs her, pulls out his knife to her, and he's like, just say you yield. She's like, whoa, no. And like Neil's like cowering by the stool almost with KB. It's like, no, John, what are you doing? Like, he's so upset.
I know.
And Wim then comes out with and he's like got the lightsaber in his hand, but he's got it, and John knows, and he's like, Wim, this isn't one of your like adventure fantasies, and he's trying to tell him that it's upside down, and Wim ignites it, but obviously it being upside down, he nearly like chops off his own foot.
Yeah.
And I was saying to you, it's a blue, but it's like a lighter blue, like than you get Anakin's or Obi-Wan's, you know.
Yeah.
So again, the color of it and the light of it makes me feel that this is a very old lightsaber, and I have more to prove or to go with my theory afterwards. So he ignites it, he lets it go, and then it like falls on the floor, and then KB's Fern's like, I yield. So then he lets her go, and she goes over with the other kids by the stool, and he's like, Captain John, I'm sorry, Captain John is the victor. What is your orders, Captain? He's like, he takes the restraining bolt off SM33. He's like, find us a way out of here, because the pirate's obviously outside. And he's like, what about the kids? And he's like, take them as prisoners under charges of mutiny action. And the kids are like, no. And SM33
I also thought I'd mention, while SM33 was plugged into the machine, he was like, can you access the system? Can you refill that tunnel with acid? And then you hear like a bunch of the pirates like, outside the door.
Yeah, brutal. What way to go? Good
anyway,
spot.
sorry,
No,
good. Go back a little bit to mention that.
Good one, I forgot. So as SM33 is like, I'm sorry, kids, Captain's orders, and as he comes over, Wim, all of a sudden being clever, touches the stool, and they all go through the trapdoor and like escape. So it's like, okay. But then, best bit of the episode for me, Jod looks at the lightsaber and he's like, and he uses the force and catches it. Here's our best look at the lightsaber. You can see it is gold and white, gold and silver. And he like gets it and he like looks at it. And then as the episode cuts to black, we hear him ignite the lightsaber. Now, they did this on purpose, right? When Wim ignites the lightsaber upside down, it is a normal lightsaber activation sound. Like it sounds like Anakin's Obi-Wan's, like a normal one.
Mm-hmm.
When Jod activates it this time, when you don't see it but you hear it activate, it's got that more like it is like High Republic, Old Republic lightsaber ignition. Like this isn't a prequel lightsaber. I was so excited hearing that. Like I said, I'm not even seeing it, but I hear it. I'm like, that is High Republic, Old Republic. It's not new. This is old. This is like such a cool lightsaber. I think it's going to be High Republic.
Yeah.
I don't think the show, like I mentioned earlier, I don't think the show is going to go into the detail of whose lightsabers this was, what era it's from. I think it's just going to be, here is a lightsaber. Jod now has a lightsaber, sort of thing. You know what I mean? And he got it from this Captain Reynolds like cave.
I kind of hope they mention like a character from the High Republic.
That's gonna be so cool. If you're watching this, you also know that there's a reason why this is the thumbnail picture. It is for me like the best shot of the episode. Like the way that it's like you've got the skull behind Jod, who's out of focus, and just his hand and this lightsaber, which then comes into focus when he looks at it and ignites it, and you get that whoosh, like, oh, I love it. So yeah,
very nice.
Really good episode. Can't wait for next week's episode.
Me too.
Obviously, we know that obviously the kids are going to be fine because we're going to see them in obviously like a later, episode and that.
I hope they find their way out okay though.
Yes. And I hope Jod isn't as bad as we think he is.
I know. I hope he's not just going to take the Onyx Cinder and go.
I don't think he will, because I feel like the kids are going to be on board somehow or something. Yeah. But
maybe they'll beat him to it, and then he'll be like flying away, and then all of a sudden they're there, like, we're going home, and he's like, damn it.
But yes, this lightsaber is very cool, and I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes like a legacy lightsaber.
Yeah.
They might even put it as like Jod's lightsaber.
Maybe.
But it does look really cool. And the fact is, again, it's a High Republic one, I think. Don't quote me on that, but it is either High Republic or Old Republic. Like Days of Revan. But I think a High Republic is the way that they're, because obviously we recently had the Acolyte. We've still got like the books and that going on at the minute.
Also, like there's more gold in the High Republic rather than Old Republic. So
that makes sense. So I would say that I feel like Star Wars is trying to connect more stuff to the High Republic. Like, I know it's been a while and we did mention it, but in Star Wars Outlaws, there is on one of the planets like a crashed, like ruined ship from the High Republic. You know what I mean? There's mention of like Starlight Beacon, and I feel like every bit of media, they're trying to showcase this High Republic era a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they are. We recently had the Acolyte. I know a lot of people aren't happy with it. I really enjoyed it. I think you did.
I did,
as well. And I want to see more of this era in terms of like TV show or film or books, comics. It's just such an interesting period in Star Wars. So yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So so that is it for today's episode in terms of like Skeleton Crew. We do have a Trooper of the Week to discuss. Shall I do mine first?
Yeah.
So this person, not really good. It's a bit of a hard one because I can't really give them a shout because they didn't do this, but they've like shared it. So the name of the person who shared it is like Axa Ahsoka sort of thing, and they sort of repost different like Star Wars videos and all that. And this is a video of a fan edit that someone's done of like Arc 170s, you know, the ones we see in Revenge of the Sith and the Clone Wars, like flying into battle. But it looks so good. Like it looks like it's straight out of a Star Wars film. Like, like look at that. You would think that is literally from a film. Like,
yeah,
I want to see more of this. Like, it's so cool.
Flying.
So yeah, I know it's not really like a big one, but it's so cool. So shout out to them for showing me that.
Mine is quite a funny one. Someone on TikTok called Carter Jeanette. Basically, it's a Mandalorian cosplayer, and he's out scooping the snow in his cosplay, which I thought was quite funny. I'll skip it on a little bit. There you go. Very cool cosplay, but I just thought that was really funny how he's like scooping the snow.
What is the thing though? It says because that's what makes it quite
says
funny.
when bounty hunting is slow, so you shovel driveways for credits in the meantime. There you go.
That's very cool.
So yeah, Carter Jeanette on TikTok.
That is a very cool one.
And we have our meme of the week.
Yes, I quite like this one. Qui-Gon jeans.
I think Qui-Gon's got some jeans for Christmas. Qui-Gon jeans.
It is quite a funny look, but it also works.
Yeah.
I can imagine seeing someone wander around with like the long hair, like a sort of a roby top, and then like blue jeans underneath.
Oh, God.
If Qui-Gon Jinn was like a country singer.
Yeah, for sure.
Morgan jeans.
I mean, you know, Liam Neeson could do jean adverts in this get-up.
Yeah. The new Levi jeans.
Yeah. Qui-Gon jeans. Only available.
Levi's jeans. But yeah, so I thought it was quite a funny meme of the week. There we go. So yeah, we know this has been a bit of a longer episode. We hope you don't mind that, guys. But we did have a lot to show you as well. We had the episode and
yeah, we had our little
Lego haul. This is where the fun begins.
I do love this set.
Yes, for yourself. You bought it for yourself.
No, it's for both of us.
But yeah, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. We will be back. Are we going to be back on Thursday?
I think so.
Well, we're going to try and be back on Thursday anyway.
But then it'll be after New Year.
So this is the last episode of 2024? Wow, crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Has been a very good 2024, to be fair,
Yeah.
for the podcast and for me and you. So I think next year it's only going to be better. We're going to try and do more and be more active with our posts, try and be more engaging with you guys, get more of you on here.
Yes.
You know, because that's what we miss. We haven't had any guests in a while, and that is one of the best parts of this, when we get to talk about your cosplays and how you got into
experiences at Comic Cons and
yeah, exactly. You know, like if you were like, oh, I got to meet this person.
Yeah.
Very cool. Also, speaking of Comic Con, you just reminded me at the London Comic Con Spring, I think it is. Wim is going to be there.
Skeleton Crew.
So I think they're going to announce some more from Skeleton Crew. Maybe Nick Frost from SM33.
Maybe
But I was
me.
saying to you, I might want to go to that just because I think there's going to be a load of Neil cosplays.
Yeah.
I want
Very
to be like, oh my god, Neil!
Yep.
I'll be like, can I get a photo with you, Neil? You're so cool.
Neil Nation.
Neil Nation. Let's go. But yeah, we will see you on the next episode. Again, thank you for joining us today and for joining us throughout the year.
Mhm.
If you've listened to us or just watched us or both or liked our posts on anything,
Mhm.
it means a lot to us.
Yeah. And if you are a cosplayer or anything, you just want to be on the show, then let us know, and maybe we can have a special guest episode next year.
We're gonna have plenty, I
Yes.
think. But yeah, so from me, guys, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next year.
May the force be with you.